Hey guys, so I've been editing all freaking day long, like literally all day. And I sat down, it's 3 a.m. for my me time, so you'll have to excuse the angle because I am not moving. And I was looking up a video or just randomly scrolling through YouTube, and I found one of the people commenting about Avatar, The Last Airbender live action, was reacting to this article, and I was just going to watch his video, but then the article has a clip to it, so I thought I'd react to the article and the clip for you guys since we're all hyped for Avatar, The Last Airbender live action. So looks like the elements converge as the stars and creative team behind the fantasy reimagining of a beloved animated show lay out what the legions of cross generational fans can expect. Boomerangs flying is a phrase that stunt coordinator Jeff Arrow found himself shouting a lot while hanging with the cast. In mid January, the reason Sokka, of course, um, on a hot set at the at Bronson's Sunset Bronson Studios in Hollywood. I've been editing all day, so I'm really tired. So if I mess up, that's why. Um, for EW's cover shoot, Aro works with the four co-stars of the highly anticipated Netflix fantasy series to warm up their martial arts inspired battle moves. Actor Gordon Cormier's muscle memory quickly activates as he begins twirling Aang's signature airbending staff, while Tio's arms begin flowing almost like waves to emulate the water bending abilities of the monotonous actress character Katara, and their co-star Dallas Liu casually stuns the room as he executes an unscripted air flip for cameras against a backdrop of real flames. We told you it was a hot set. It just comes from my martial arts background, so I got it in my back pocket whenever we want to get a cool shot, says the actor who plays Firebender Prince Zuko. Then there's Ian Osley. While a martial artist in his own right, his character of Sokka is the rare member of the series' core Team Avatar group who can't manipulate one of the four natural elements. So essentially, they're saying that the actors are getting together and making their moves according to their character, because you have the airbender Aang, the waterbender Katara, her brother Sokka, who doesn't bend, and then the main antagonist Zuko, who's a firebender. Um, so instead, the actor who plays Sokka, has his trusty boomerang, a prop Netflix flew out to the location especially for the actor. That's kind of my whole personality, Osley jokes, which is actually funny because that's like Sokka makes jokes in the animated series that's his personality, and there's a couple times he loses boomerang and he's like, I've lost, he doesn't, I can't remember exactly what he says, but he feels like he's lost a part of his identity. And so the fact that the actor kind of adapted that really means that he's into the character, so I have high hopes. Before shooting his big hero moment, tossing the boomerang, he motions for everyone to get back. He refuses to even start until he can see most of the crew standing at an acceptable distance away. This thing's made out of pure steel, he remarks, playfully miming what would happen if Osley accidentally knocks him in the head. Thankfully, both co-stars are nimble, and Gordon catches it off camera before the four assemble on stage for their money shot. 12-year-old me would be so happy right now, Aro mutters as he looks over the playback on the monitors. So, first of all, the fun thing about this is that I didn't take a boomerang as a serious weapon, but the fact that it's a thing made out of pure metal that's flying at you at high speeds, it could really do damage, and so it kind of makes a layer of realism to Sokka's character and to the live action that I'm excited for, because while I enjoy animated shows, I love Avatar, the Last Airbender show. I grew up with it, and it's kind of like Clone Wars. Star Wars, like I grew up with Airbender before even that, like Avatar for me was the thing before Star Wars. Like I grew up with it. But the idea of seeing it live action, like there's an extra layer of maturism and realism that is there that I'm excited to see, and that's one of them because I never realized how dangerous a boomerang really could be. And then again, the actors seem like they're really getting into character and really like attaching themselves to the characters, and I love when actors do that because I feel like it enhances their performance. So let's react to the video. How do I start it over? Okay, we'll watch that. That is so cool. Ah, the actors are doing so good. Like I love Team Avatar. That's so good, you guys. Okay. They're equally vibrating with excitement at the thought of getting to talk about the new adaptation because it premieres February 22nd. I'll try to have this article out before then, guys. I'm got my Fridays pretty booked up with React videos. It's something they haven't been able to do since they shot it years earlier and are only now reuniting for a promotional tour. For context, Cormier auditioned for the role at age 11 and is now 14. I was cast at 14 and I'm about to be 18, adds Kyo Win Teo. They're still younger than the original Avatar, which emerged in 2005 as a Nickelodeon animated series and drew in legions of fans to its fantasy world of benders, individuals with the power to control water, earth, fire, or air, and the singular avatar able to manipulate all four. It was abundantly clear that this was probably one of the only things where I could see people like me on these kids shows, comments Elizabeth Yu, 21, who now portrays the live-action Princess Azula. There's something very magical about that. She's 21. She looks really young. I'm so confused. Because I remember when the promotional image of Azula came out, people were saying that she looked way too young to play the role. Do they mean 12? I'm so confused. Okay, maybe she auditioned when she was younger because they did say some of them were younger at the time. But the true magic of Avatar, much like its reincarnating figure, was the ability to cross generations. It had a sequel series. Okay, they're just talking about the thing. I hate when they do that. Albert Kim, former EU editor, who now spearheads live action series as a showrunner, is one of the countless adults passionately invested in this material, having initially intended to watch the cartoon in order to explain its context to his daughter. I thought she was going to have trouble understanding the story, but pretty soon the explanations fell by the wayside. Kim recalls, I was just watching alongside her, just pulled into this incredible world. It was the memories I had with my daughter that really sold me on the idea of doing this. It's this love from seemingly disparate fan groups that has long piqued Hollywood's interest in creating a live-action version. The movie that shall not be named was... Yeah, we're just going to skip over that part. Well, they're talking... Okay, so the movie that did come before, it was basically considered filth by every corner of the fandom. Critics didn't care for it. White actors were cast to play Asian and indigenous figures. The special effects couldn't hold a candle to the theatrics of the original animation. The martial arts looked really weird with the bending. All of season one's main events were skimmed over in less than a 2-hour runtime. Kim says he purposefully avoided watching the movie. Thank goodness, that'll help him. Now, with the benefit of modern VFX, authentic casting, a format of 8-hour-long episodes, and a renewed faith in the anime to live-action Hollywood cycle thanks to One Piece, the next Avatar is looking to, quote the original intro, to change the world. That's cool. He previously confirmed Avatar does not begin the same way as the animated series, which we've seen from the clips. It's probably going to begin with the Fire Nation destroying the air nomads. Though the opening maintains familiar elements, Jabbar Rossini, the executive producer and visual effects supervisor who directed the new sequence, had one goal. We just wanted to make sure audiences didn't think they were getting a kids show. We want to ensure that our show is for all ages. Thank you. Yes. You guys, I'm so excited for this. I love the idea of it getting a little bit more mature. Not like too mature, like not 18 plus. I'm just saying like more than just like a show for 12-year-olds. You know what I mean? Okay, this is the synopsis. Okay. Okay. So basically the air nomads get wiped out, and he says there's a reason why it wasn't shown because it's a kid's cartoon. But it felt important that we see the event that creates the story of Avatar. Everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. I wanted to see that. He also clarifies that moments like this do not make his Avatar a dark retelling. He points to the episodes of the original, like Season 3's The Puppet Master, which tackled the taboo practice of bloodbending, as well as the series finale battle between Aang and the tyrannical Fire Lord Ozai, leader of the Fire Nation, both of which were more mature than the goofier nature of the first season. For fans of the second and third season, I think it's all in line with what they saw there. He says live action reimagining. Yeah, season 2 and 3 can get pretty dark for what you would consider to be a kid's show. So, Daniel Day Kim agrees. having voiced characters in both Avatar animated offerings and now playing live action Ozai. He says the kids who watch the animated version of Avatar are now grown ups, and so they're ready for a more grown up fare. That's cool. The attack of the air nomads is emblematic of Kim's larger mission with the adaptation to fill in the gaps from the original while remixing the material to fit a dramatic series format. Moments that may have occurred off screen or characters that never met in the original are now fair game, though the spirit of the animated series remains. Upon re-emerging to find the world in the throes of war, Aang, this is more about the show. I certainly wanted to tap into Zuko's physicality in the animation. Lou says sitting with Cormier in a bathrobe shortly after performing at his airflip in LA. I just thought it was so perfect for the banished prince to be on edge all the time, stiff and physically fit. But actually, I think I'm quite lucky because I have original animated series voice actor Dante Bosco's performance with his emotional range in the series to pick up what I might like and what to stay away from, explains Lou, who got the chance to meet Bosco in summer 2021 before the start of filming that October. It was such a rewarding feeling to see how supportive he was of the decisions that I made for the role. He was absolutely cheering me on and wanting me to make it my own. That's really cool. Oh, he looks so good. Both Lou and Cormier shaved their heads for the project. Cormier went full bald while Lou maintained Zuko's signature bun, though their hair has grown back by the time they speak with EU. I didn't think too much of it, honestly, Lou says. I was just like, I'm bald and I've got a diamond-shaped head and I've got 3 inches of hair. Ian started calling it the joystick on the first day, but it definitely tapped me in my character a lot. I remember because I was just laughing really hard and pointing. Look at that thing in the back of your head, Cormier teases. Honestly, 21 knew early on what he hoped to maintain in his character from the original. I wanted to make sure that Sokka is funny. He says something tells us that wasn't necessarily a challenge, judging from the laugh he periodically lets out that might sound familiar to Sokka fans. But Ousley notes there's more weight with realism in every way. Some things that worked in more zany animated kids show definitely hit different in live action. Kyo when Tio mentions one of them, I feel like we also took out the element of how sexist Sokka was. I feel like there were a lot of moments in the original show that were iffy. She's not wrong. There are Reddit threads, that's funny, about instances discussing how the original Sokka prior to his character journey would make remarks like girls are better at fixing parts than guys. And guys are better at hunting and fighting. Osley agrees with Q and Tio. Yeah, totally. There are things that were redirected just because it might play a little differently by live action. Of course, they don't want to offend the feminists. Absence of a guitar in Sokka's parents. In the animated series, their mom died when the Fire Nation invaded and their dad is off fighting in the war. While the cartoon addressed this narrative, the live-action series makes it more of a lingering trauma that affects both siblings. For Sokka, he's dealing with what it means to not have a father and to try to maybe lead when you're not fully capable. I do feel like it's a recurring theme. Kuentio adds it's such a big part of their lives. It's the opposite of the Fire Nation. Okay, Ozai is always watching and always judging, says Daniel Day Kim, who plays Ozai, so you get a sense of how stifling this family can be. He doesn't have a lot of screen time, but you feel him whenever you see Zuko or Azula. Guys, I cannot tell you how much I'm loving what I'm hearing here and how it feels like they're making it like more mature. And by mature, I simply mean just like not for 12-year-olds, more like for an adult audience, but not gritty or, unclean or anything like that, or bad, I should say, but staying true to the original, what made the animation special and making it more fit for today. So I'm just super, super excited. It just sounds, and they seem like they're honoring what was here before and really getting into it. Like getting into the characters and the plot. So let's keep reading. Okay, I thought those were so interesting. They went to like they went to videos doing the psychology of Azula and Zuko. I thought those were so interesting. While Zuko is determined to fight his way back into his father's good graces, his more manipulative and calculating sibling is determined to prove herself to be the more formidable heir to the throne. A lot of OG series was through the eyes of Zuko. I feel like our show lets Azula and Ozai have their own start to their journey before all the stuff that we know them to do later on. We get to see her origin story, which is really cool. That's cool. So the only concern I have with this is that I don't want to start sympathizing with Azula because she's meant to be a villain. And if we see her background a little too early, we don't really see a whole lot of that, what makes her her, I think until like the last season. So we had all of season 2 for her to be this bad guy. Same with Zuko. Zuko, they both were villains before we started caring about them. And honestly, I never really cared for Azula or sympathized with her because she's such a really good villain. And so I feel like telling their side of the story, I'm just worried about giving Azula and even Ozai screen time in season one because they didn't have that in the original season one. And Ozai didn't have a face reveal until, same with Azula. Azula didn't have a face reveal until the very end of season one, and then Ozai until season two. So it was kind of like it mirrored Zuko not getting to see his father. We didn't see him until Zuko did, essentially, and it made it more powerful and impacting. So I'm kind of concerned. But when you have somebody casted like Daniel Day Kim, they like you want to utilize him as an actor in the season as opposed to not having him in there at all or just like back shots. So I can understand that. I don't want us to start sympathizing with Zuko even or Azula too soon, especially Azula because she's supposed to be a villain all the way through and not really get redeemed. So, um, I didn't know that Daniel Day Kim played General Fong, the Earth Kingdom officer in the animated Avatar, and Asami's father in The Legend of Korra. So he was eager to play Ozai, who he refers to him as the Darth Vader of the show, very much so. Which, ironically enough, Luke Skywalker's actor Mark Hamill actually voiced him in the original animated. I really enjoy exploring this idea that he was so unapologetic about the things that he believed in. It actually reminded me a little bit of our political landscape today because there are certain people who take such extreme positions without apology and with the understanding that their position is the only correct position. That is how Ozai thinks in a strange way. In his own way, he believes he is parenting the best way he knows how. He's trying to groom his son to be a successor, and he's seeing that his daughter is naturally equipped to succeed him. So he's trying to figure out who is going to lead this nation into their future. Okay. Okay. I don't know if it's going to reveal anything else. Ugh, my arm is getting tired. Oh. Sebastian Amoruso as Jet and Kiwantio as Katara. He looks so good. Jet's one of my favorite characters. Oh, guys. Suki and Sokka. I didn't know we could just click on these images. That's cool. Okay, I think that's pretty much like... This article is a very long one. Holy crap. I kind of just want to look at the pictures. Oh, it looks so good. Yeah, I think that's about all we need to know. So, overall, this is getting me so hyped, and it's giving me faith that they're going to do it right and that they're really, really into their characters and taking it very seriously and honoring the spirit of the original animated one while making it more fit for a dramatic, like, drama show kind of thing, like a drama fantasy show. So I'm super, super excited, guys. Are you excited? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And in the meantime, if you liked me reacting to this article, then check out my reaction to the trailer that just came out. It's so good, you guys. You gotta watch it. You gotta look at it. You gotta react to it. It's amazing. Check it out. You don't want to miss it.